All right, good stuff. Let's talk some football. Old NFC Central rivalry, a nasty one. It's the NFC North now, but it's still the same rivalry. The Lions hosting the Bears. Chicago off to a 3-0 start. They've covered 2 of those 3 games. The Lions, they're 2-1, and they are 2-1 straight up and against the spread. Sean, what do you have for us as far as tidbits on this game are concerned?
Yeah, first of all, if there's such a thing as a really, really important game for this early in the season, for me, this is a big one for Detroit. First of all, if you guys remember, and I'm sure you do, Detroit last year 0-6 straight up in divisional games. I'm one of the few handicappers that follows tiebreakers from week 1. I don't wait till week 13 when the media is starting to try and figure out that formula. Those teams wear the fact that there are 10-6 teams that sit home during the playoffs. And Jim, you remember Seattle 7-9 one year, not only made the playoffs, but got a home game, and as a 10-point underdog, beat the New Orleans Saints, and I think they were coming off a Super Bowl win that year. So the deal is tiebreakers. Now here's Detroit. They're 2-1, but they're 0-6 straight up in the division last year. Big game for them. 0-3 straight up the last 3 against Chicago. They have to travel to Green Bay next week, and Green Bay's coming off a bye, so they'll be rested. How about Detroit? 0-4 straight up, their last 4 against Green Bay. Chicago, Dave, big win for them, I think, in Detroit, coming off that Sunday night game. Both teams pretty well evenly matched. I think that Chicago is a little bit the better team, but Detroit in such a position where they almost have to win this game. It's a short number. I've seen 2.5. It depends on how the money line works. Detroit, Dave, probably -2.5, -15, or you can maybe have to lay 3 at even money. But if I had to play the game, I'd probably go with the home favorite in this game and lay the 3 with Detroit.
Jim, there are some problems, though, on the Lions side. Reggie Bush missed last week's game. Now we'll see if he can go this week. But now they've lost Nate Burleson, who is
that's a huge loss. Huge.
They don't have it. They don't
huge
have
loss.
depth at receiver, and Burleson's a big loss. I think it is.
Well, this is a guy that he's like a Welker. You know, this is the kind of guy you have to have out there. He's a guy you go to when you're in trouble, when nothing's open. You know, he's got sure hands. He's going to get you some yardage. He's a clutch player. Totally unusual way that he broke his arm, and it really damages this Detroit team. Yeah, we all know that Detroit is an undisciplined team. They have a lot of penalties, personal fouls. They make all types of mistakes. They find ways to lose games they're supposed to win. When you look at their stats, you say, hey, this team is pretty damn good. But then you add in those turnovers and penalties. The Bears under Mark Trestman, I mean, they could have beaten Pittsburgh much easier the other night than they did. They went into a coast mode. They took their foot off the pedal. They even admitted it after the game that they have to continue to play. They had the 17-0 lead, and they just thought they could coast. It almost got them because Pittsburgh fought back and played pretty well at that point. Trestman, coming out of the Canadian Football League where he had success, he also coached in the NFL years earlier, where he coached Rich Gannon many times, and Rich speaks very highly of his ability. And obviously, the guy knows what he's doing. Cutler's not getting hit; he's not getting sacked. We're going up against the Lions. They have a pretty damn good front line, and it's going to be a challenge for them, especially coming off another road team. You know, they both came off the road last week. Both of them won. Big game. I don't like the losing of Burleson. I'm still seeing 3s everywhere on this game. There's only one place I see 2.5 -25. Based on the injury and the situation with the way Chicago is playing much more conservatively, they have a solid running game. You don't know the one guy is out. You don't know Reggie Bush's health. I'd have to favor the Bears here slightly.
Well, yeah. Look,
one little trend or one.
Go ahead, Sean.
Well, I was going to say, Dave, just one little stat, and it's a current one. These NFC divisional games, and there have been 7 of them. The Dog has only won 1 out of those 7 and lost by an average of 6.5 points. So that obviously carries a little weight for me, but I look to Detroit.
Look, the Lions have problems. The Burleson injury is obviously huge. The issue is it's probably at the position, outside of quarterback, where they can least afford it. Because they don't have any depth at this position anyway. Patrick Edwards, I don't know if he's playing or not. He missed last week's game with the ankle injury. And behind, obviously Megatron's amazing. I like Broyles. I think he's going to be a contributor as the season goes along. But behind him, they got nothing. They got Durham. They got Spurlock. Spurlock's strictly a return guy. He's not really a receiver. It's got a chance to make them a little bit one-dimensional, I think. And I think the Lions, kind of need to take that approach in this game, is not turn it into a shootout, because if they do, probably not going to win it. I think the Bears are more equipped right now to be the offensive juggernaut, if you will, than the Lions are. So being at home and the fact that this is your only home game in, a 5-game stretch, because they're playing 4 out of 5 away to start the season. I think I'm going to look for the under in this game. I don't think I'm going to get cheated on the number at all, because I believe that the thought is that Detroit's an offensive team. The Bears are scoring a lot of points. Mark Trestman's doing a good job. They blew up the scoreboard in Pittsburgh on Sunday night. I think I'm going to get a little bit of a value on the under here, so I'll go that way. Bears and Lions under the total. Before we get to the second game, which is the matchup between the Patriots and Falcons on Sunday night, let's check in with our man in the street, our man in the Vegas Strip, Jeff Saad of Las Vegas Sports Services, with a free NFL selection. Jeff, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Got a free pick coming up in the NFL, but it's week 4 of the NFL campaign, and I've got a blockbuster special. Play all of October and the last week of September for $29. That's college plus the NFL, and includes a TV winner tonight, and my first college conference game of the year on Saturday. Just call LVSS at 1-866-575-8916. Free play comes to the NFL on Sunday as the Jets and Titans meet in Tennessee. This is the middle of a 3-game homestand for the Titans, a team that is not explosive on offense with a young, erratic quarterback preferring to run the football. They take on a Jets team that's even worse quarterback play and is ultra conservative on offense under new offensive coordinator Marty Morningweg. The Jets are on a 6-2 run under the total, including 4-1 under against the AFC. This looks like a boring battle with more field goals than touchdowns. Play the Jets and Titans to stay under the total. Once again, get my blockbuster special. Play all of October and the last week of September for only $29. That's college plus the NFL, and includes a TV winner tonight with my first college conference game of the year on Saturday. Call LVSS at 1-866-575-8916.
Okay, Jeff, thanks a lot. Sure appreciate that. And good luck to you this weekend. All right, here we go. Falcons hosting the Patriots. And the Patriots, despite the fact that they really haven't been impressive, they're 3-0 anyway, which tells you something about this New England football team. They know how to win games, even when they're not playing their best football. As for the Falcons, they've had periods where they've looked great in all their games, but they're only 1-2. And Sean, this is a big game for this football team. You don't want to get to 1-3 out of the gate. Let's just say you become an underdog to make the playoffs when you get to 1-3. So big game for Atlanta.
Yeah, we've already mentioned, first of all, this is one of these AFC-NFC matchups, and as we already know, so far it clearly belongs to the AFC. In fact, the AFC road dog, if you want to break it down, is 4-2 straight up this year, which is pretty good for money line stuff, Jim. I know you like to look at that. And they're 4-1-1 against the bookie. Atlanta 1-2 behind the 3-0 Saints in the NFC South. Atlanta has to win games. It doesn't matter about tiebreakers if you don't win enough games to get in that situation. They have to win games. And what is the one thing Atlanta does? We all know about that dichotomy. Atlanta wins at home. They lose on the road. Same thing this year, right? Their one win came at home. Their 2 losses came on the road. Let's look at their schedule. This is the first of 3 home games for Atlanta. They're not going to see a road game for 4 games. They play Atlanta. I'm sorry, I can't hardly talk here. Then they play this game against the Patriots. Then they host the Jets, a very winnable game. Then they have a bye, so they get rested. And then they host Tampa Bay, so they have an opportunity to win some ball games here. Look on the other side of the coin, Dave, and you hit the nail on the head. No question, the Patriots are 3-0, but it's been ugly. But this is a team that also, they win on the road. They won 6 of 8 road games last year. This is a short number. I'm not going to go against the AFC, NFC thing. It's not a strong play with me, but I'm going to lean with the Patriots and take the 1.5.